what your mind can conceive and believe it can achieve. So now take this. I got this grace of his to do the game. Born in natural born fighter. I beat this god blaze horse and nigga bitch. The law for the Susan is kicking with intelligence. In my gathering, sound is trumpet that poses BD's ambition, intention, vision, got the passion. Hitting the gleam, going mainstream, making things happen. Then came the call when you eat TV. A pro that's gonna make you do a new CD. I be the recipe to your success. So now can we dig it?
Just yesterday.
Mutic is only made with high-quality ingredients to ensure a distinctive, refreshing taste and a seriously good time. Mutic, Joie de Vivre of Cameroon.
What a Guan Africa, my name is Queen Bee and you're welcome on the call. This is how it's going down today because today I feel so different, so unique because I want to connect with you. There's somebody that he's gonna serve like the medium. He's no other person but I have to take it back to the root. You understand? This is somebody that he has been on the international stage. I'm gonna call him the godfather of Cameroonian bass, man. He's one of the pioneers of bass, right? That's I'm talking about bass music, you know, using the guitar. He can use the guitar, he can manipulate the guitar, you know, the funk, the jazz, and any other rhythm you can imagine of. This man, he has performed. First of all, he's a producer, he's a singer, he's a stage performer, and he's a session man. More than that, it's too long. If I want to go on, it means you're going to sit back home and it's going to be like 52 minutes. This person, he's a Cameroonian, a proud African. He has performed in Madison Square Garden. That's in America, you know, alongside Chuck Berry, you know, and Apollo. You know, you can imagine how the list goes on and on, you know, Cool and the Gang. And in Cameroon, it can be Brilliant, Emmanuel Dibango, you know, Eboy Lawton, and he's on the call with me. My name is Queen Bee and my director is Eric Marcel Wakam. We are here in Douala. This is not the studio. The call is a free show. You can swing the camera around, Wakam, let them see where I am right now. This is his room. He's in Cameroon, you know, from the west. That's from the Netherlands, from Holland. He has come back home because he's back to his root. You know, he has so much in store for you. Africa, this is how we're gonna do it. And now, you wanna see the person? You wanna see the person? I'll be back after this. Okay, you've seen him maybe on the stage, you know, that I'm talking about in the LA, you know, Los Angeles, you know, London, but he's in Cameroon. He has never actually gotten that time, because he's someone that he takes his time, you know, before working on a videogram and on a video clip. And this time around, you know, he wants to come, he's getting back on stage, you know, with something really, really new. I won't talk about that because it's just going to be, I'm just giving you kind of like a clue of what the program is going to look like. We have so much in store for you. Before you see him, you know, on TV with his dreadlocks, like what I'm having, but today he is a different person. He has a reason for this new look. His name is no other person, you know, Jean Dikota Mandenke, the son of the soul. He is back in, like I told you, he's somebody that he can actually manipulate the guitar with his finger. Ray Charles is dead and gone. You know, Ray Charles was good on the piano, but he is the living Ray Charles in Africa, because he is the only person that can manipulate the guitar. Okay? He's addicted to that.
Yeah. You know, I always come back home, as you see here, back to the roots, because I was thinking about home when I recorded last CD, the last, I call it CD of, the last CD, which I call Back to the Roots. Back to the Roots be taken, or means en français, retour à la source, retour aux sources.
So how does it feel to be back home after a very long time?
Yeah, I feel with the best. I come here to visit my parents, to visit my friends, to visit musicians, of course, to visit people I haven't seen for a long time, and of course play some music with the friends, the musicians in Cameroon, because it's always not very easy to play together with the Cameroon musician. I know them talent and all that, but I play with different people. I live in England before. I play with Osibisa, that you have to know. And I never really had a chance to do many things apart of people like Boalotem and Odebango, that I think all Cameroonians know. We did things together in France, but I never had a chance to get in Cameroon and play with Cameroon music. That's what I'm doing now, you know. I'm making some kind of little tour to discover all around me, in Douala, in Yaoundé. Last year I was here, and I'm going to perform for the Cinquantenaire of the independence of Cameroon. And there I met a lot of people. I only have to, hey, I'm Namyenge, you know.
You want to sing that, please?
Well, it's difficult to sing there. I can play part of the way, you know, you got something like that. But, hey, you know. Yeah, so on, so.
You want to give me the lyrics verbally?
It's more like kind of instrumental with kind of onomatopoeia going on. Like numa, wele, soma, wana, wele, bwencha, you know. Eh, amura munyenge wa one day. Well, that means when you are very happy, some people die with happiness.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I'm some kind of prince, not only prince of music, but it's true from the way I was brought up with who was my mother, my parents, was not very rich. To be a queen doesn't mean to be rich, you understand?
Yes.
It's the way, it's from the blood, you understand? So my mother was supposed to be queen in Aqua, in Boneleke, Aqua, where I was born, because in the history was like that. who was the father of who was the mother of who. And the problem was the lady cannot lead the people here. That's why he was not the chief, like Betote Akwa is the chief. Okay. So because she was a woman, she could not lead. That's the culture of the people from Douala.
Okay. Okay, and back in the day, I understand your father was a polygamist.
I grew up by my grandfather. Here is my grandfather's house.
Okay, you grew up with your grandfather, who was also a notable. You know, but back in the day, your own father, he was a polygamist. He had two wives.
Two wives.
I don't know, growing up at that point in your life, you know, back in the day, did you feel the impact of a polygamous home, growing in a polygamous home? Because we all know in Africa, for example, the problem is, you know, that kids growing up in a polygamous home, they face. You know, did you feel any of that impact growing up in a polygamous home?
Well, some people get down very well with the polygamy system. Because I went to Europe when I was almost very young again, and even the Europeans cannot deal with the polygamy system. So, but I think this our own culture is the way we are in Africa, not only in Cameroon but all over Africa. I think so. But for myself, I don't think I would like to be polygam. I like it's very difficult to deal with one woman.
Yeah, about two again.
To deal with two, I think will be more again. But I think to have more children is good, because when you have two women, means you will have a lot of children. If they all, you have to have children, means like we were very, how you say, number. From the other lady with 5 brother and sister, 5 or 6, 7, 6 brother and sister, and the Maasai we was 6 also brother and sister. So that already 10 people to feed, which I think it was very difficult. That's why I end up by my mother, and my grandfather, which the father of my mother, asked my mother to come back home, to move from Bali, where my father is from, to Bali, to come back to Akwa, which is where we are now. So that, because it was very tight other side with other kind of system, you know, the polygamy system. So here it was kind of freedom, and less people, of course, because my mother has only one brother also, and he went to live in another area called Bonantone because he married my grandfather's sister was married in Bonantone, and so she makes another family there. So we have another family in Bonantone, which is in Daido. I think some people from Douala, they know about what I'm talking about. So, so I grew up here. I went to the Corps Principal d'Akwa there, which is not far. Maybe later I'll show you where it is. And this area is a little bit different now, because it's a lot of shit going on, like a lot of commerce. This place was open with palm trees and all those kind of things, but now I feel it's too much crowded now. I cannot, sometimes when I come back home, I don't even know where to get in, you know, because it's a lot of houses. It was very open, and you can believe that now it's a very tight place. Yeah.
That was a question I was about getting to that point, you know. This is your village, but today when you look around, it's a city.
It's not anymore village.
You are a proud African, a proud Sawa man. Don't you think that urbanization has modified the customs and traditions of the Sawa people?
It's terrible to live like this, because before it was a good village, a real village, but now it's a big, I can say, very crowded city, more crowded than it's supposed to be. So the people, they're walking on top of others, and they don't respect the ecological system also. I live near this college, and when the children, they comes out to have a little lunch or something, they put everywhere. They don't respect where to put the garbage or where not to put the garbage. So I feel sorry for that because that is very important to control and to respect even the city. This village, they become a city, which is, I don't think is the best thing to do. And the people, they must try to learn how to respect the city, of course. To make a place clean, everybody must participate, you know. I think you understand what I'm trying to say.
I do understand.
It's not my job to say that, but everybody must say something about something, you know.
Okay. You just mentioned where you scored École Principale d'Aqua, then later CC, Bonadumé.
I went to CP4.
Okay, Bonadumé. Then you dropped out. You were there for 3 years, 4e, 5e. Then you had a quick school because you got an internship stage at the seaport. What happened? There was no money for you to continue to pursue your education at that level?
It can be part of it, but I had another other project. I wanted to do something which is more important for me to earn money, of course. Okay. And I wanted to see other world, so to go continue the general less school was not to me the best thing because it was hard that time and like it stayed hard. Not much people were working. My father was in the French army before in Brazzaville. It was going come. Then later after that, it became a douanier. You know what douanier means? A customer. So, and it was in an archive, I can call that, because they could not give him any post for him to, but so they put them in what we call archive and check in the douane in the port also, of course.
Okay.
So me, I was thinking what I'm going to do, and just to go to school, I try to do the descend the bâtiment, you know. In CP4, I was not very, very good on it. So I decided they had a concours in Port there, and I decided to make the test to enter for the stage of the mechanography. You know, I did that, and I was successfully engaged to do the stage for 1 year only. And then after 1 year for not being paying, later they pay me 10,000.
10,000.
10,000.
The magic is that with that 10,000 francs, you succeeded in managing and saving some amount of money that you later used for your adventure along the West African coast.
Exactly.
How was that possible? Because today we have 100,000, 20,000 francs. We can't do anything with that.
Yeah, of course.
How was that possible?
That time, 10,000 was like maybe 100,000 now. Some million. That time it was the age of independence, 61, 60, 62. That time I was supposed to start living. 10,000 was the equivalent of 100,000, 100,000 francs CFA. So to travel from here to Maffei, maybe to Maffei, yes, in the British side there, was maybe 200 to 200 francs. You can get a Maffei. Yeah, and then so I keep going. I kept going till I reached to Ghana. I didn't know where I was going. I was just traveling. And here it was funeral because they looked for me all over. The people in the port also, there was some white people that I worked with. They came here looking for me because I was very good in mechanography, of course. I did 1 year very intensively, and so they really looked for me. My sister was taking care of me. They make a funeral for her that I'm dead.
Yeah, I was about coming to that. Where was
because they didn't see me anymore.
Your parents, you just left the country.
I just left. My parents were still around. I just go without saying nothing to nobody. They didn't know where I was. So for them, it was like they making a funeral behind me. So until I reached to Ivory Coast, where I stopped for a while.
So now we are. he starts manipulating with the fingers, he won't want to stop. And that's part of the show, and I really love that because it's a lifetime.
Big king. That's part of the show. I love to hear that.
Yeah, it is really cool. Africa, I wish some of you back home could be here because I'm feeling like I can fly. You know, we are like, you know, trying to trace this story because what he went through is what most of you back home, you know, you don't need 1 million francs to make it big. It's just about what your mind can conceive and believe it can achieve. With 10,000 francs, you know,
I'll get to Europe.
he took to the street, and from Africa, you know, he got to Europe. You can do something. Don't get into drugs. No. Believe in yourself and just know the skills, you know, the talent, everything you got, and put it into practice, and then you hit it big. That's what I did, and that's why I'm on Equinox TV today talking with you. Okay, now we're talking. He left Cameroon, you know, after he served an amount of like, you know, 10,000 francs. I don't know how much was that, but he left, and we're talking about 1962. He was in Ivory Coast, and it was hell for him. Because I want to say, you've watched the movie Oliver Twist, he was on the street, but he was not a pickpocket, you know, understand? And back in Cameroon, he nursed that passion, manipulating the guitar. By then it was acoustic, you know, like people would use it, you know, in the musical, you know, arena, you know, the musical world, playing acoustic guitar. And in Ivory Coast, this is what happens: sleeping on the street, in abandoned cars, you know, almost eating but not on the garbage. This is, somebody came in. He was called Fax Clark.
Fax Clark.
You want to throw more light on that?
It's a friend of another friend that I call Manu Dibango, because this man was a generation of Manu Dibango. It's a big, great musician from Ivory Coast called Fax Clark. Yeah, he was playing the trumpet. And I have to respect him because he brought me up and brought me to the big stage, I can say, because he has a big nightclub. And then we can make a band to play in this nightclub, which was a very international sort of nightclub because of the a lot of white people come around, and so we have to play all kind of music, including tango, you know, including tango, Omar. We play all kind of music, so that's a kind of school. It was like a school because from vals to merengue to cha-cha-cha to sal, all kind of type of music, you know. So that's, I learned a lot of things, to jazz, of course, Tweba blues, like kind of walking bass, you know. So, yeah, we did all that, and I was very good on everything. I was spontaneous, and I can learn, I can hear
and you
good.
told me that some of the white people, they didn't believe that you were the one playing the guitar. You had to come closer.
I had a sister. I was married, I can call a sister from Cameroon, was married with another white man, and they went to the club. I was playing very heavy, big music that when I went to say hello to them after, they asked me, but what you were where? We were here a long time. I said, I was playing. Then they were surprised. They said, but you were playing now? I said, yeah, I was playing. I was just playing. I took a little break, so I came to say hello. They were surprised because you were playing this music we heard. I said, yeah. So they was very surprised. They offer me a drink and so on. So, because they don't believe African man can play jazz, can play rock and roll, you know. They get used to Makossa rhythm and that kind of typical music. So, but I brought very quick playing all this kind of music, you know. So that's why they call me walking bass. When
walking bass. And you wanted to ask something?
No, because I want to say when I got to France. When I told my friend I play with Claude Francois, it was for them a big, they say, but what are you talking about? Yeah. No black man can play with Claude Francois. I said, yeah, I play with Claude Francois. They had an audition, and then I took the bass and went to the audition, and I went.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you became part of that full-time, you know,
full-time.
Village discotheque. what sparked the transition from Africa to Europe?
Transition was not easy. It was not easy because
a passport.
No. That time you have to know that we were not colonized by French people, but we were sous tutelle of French. So, but the problem was we could go to Europe with a carte d'identité without visa. As long as you have your carte d'identité, your ID card, you can come. There was not carte de séjour in France that time. Carte de séjour, if I remember, is Mr. Giscard d'Estaing. When you get to presidency, supreme magistrature, as a president de la République, he installed the carte de séjour for strangers. But when I was around in Paris playing with Claude François, I don't need no carte de séjour. That's why when I went in London in '73, I get to play with Osibisa because I signed a contract with Warner Brothers, the biggest company of the world, US. So that means you play American music, you know. African music, but American way, of course. So when I came back for vacancy in France, at the airport, they asked for the carte de séjour. I said, what? I didn't know about carte de séjour. I said, I'll play with Claude François here a few years. I never. They say, okay, now it's a new law, you know. That's how everybody start to go and apply for carte de séjour.
Well, we know that coping in Africa is not that harsh, you know, but at that epoch you were so young, in your early 20s, yeah. You left for France. Mm-hmm. You know, you want to throw more light, you know, tell me, you know, something that people back home don't know about your first 3 weeks in Paris. Yeah, how did you survive?
Yeah, well, it was, of course, was difficult. But, you know, when you're young, you're not afraid of nothing, you know. It's only when you're getting old that you make a lot of attention. But I survived because when I was in Africa, I played with all kind of musicians, including Zaire people. We had a band called Rico Jazz that came around, was touring around.
Yeah, from Congo.
Yeah, and I was part of the pilier of this band because they just discovered me and want me to play with them because there was a little bit there was not a full band. It was only guitar and bass and very small band. So I went to join to give more force. When I saw them play on stage, I said, you play good, but you need a little bit more something. Not bass, but first up, because I play also the normal guitar. This is a bass guitar or bass. I play also contrabass. You have to know that.
Yeah, we're going to come and talk about music, the guitar itself, because that's just another big thing.
So I joined this band also. So when I went to, I get to Paris, I get some addresses. I went to Paris from Marseille, of course. In Marseille, I stayed in a hotel for 1 or 2 days. Then I went to take, and how I get there? I get them that way with my carte d'identité. We travel with Rico Jazz. When we get to the port of Marseille, they pull all of them out back home because they was from Congo and they didn't allow them to come out from the boat. It was not a plane, it was a boat. And the boat was General Mangin.
How many days to get to France?
They went back to Abidjan in the boat. They didn't allow them to come out from the boat because of they was from Zaire and they have connection with Belgian people but not with French people. That time was like. Quand j'arrive en France, donc j'étais à ce moment-là, je jouais plus la guitare parce que mon dernier groupe, je jouais plutôt la guitare, ainsi de suite. Bon, arrivé en France, j'habite à la Mecque, maison des étudiants congolais, parce que je suis allé leur raconter ce qui s'est passé à Marseille. que le Rico Jazz, ils ont renvoyé tous les musiciens. Et que moi, je suis le rescapé de Rico Jazz, le seul rescapé. Donc, ils étaient surpris, tous les étudiants qui m'ont encerclé. Et je leur ai donné les nouvelles qui étaient très plaisantes pour eux, vraiment. Donc, en partant, bien sûr, ils m'ont dit, mais tu habites où? J'ai dit, mais j'habite nulle part. J'ai dit, bon, moi j'aimerais avoir une chambre à la maison des étudiants, si possible. Dit, bon, ils vont regarder. Effectivement, ils ont été. C'était tout un immeuble du côté de Gobelin à Paris, si vous connaissez. Donc, il y avait une chambre qui était occupée, mais la personne n'était pas là. La personne avait voyagé pour un certain moment, il ne revenait pas. Ils m'ont dit, voilà. Voilà, c'est comme ça que j'ai commencé. Ma première chambre là-bas, c'était donc à la Mecque, qu'on appelle Maison des étudiants congolais. So, je suis resté là.
This part, ça c'est un particulier.
Ça c'est particulier.
Oui. Now I want us to talk about the music because here you are the master.
Yeah.
Mr. Walking Bass.
Walking Bass.
So many people have it all mixed up.
Yeah.
You know, because we have artists, we have musicians.
Yeah.
On a les artistes, on a les musiciens. Il y a
Ouais.
beaucoup de gens qui se confondent vraiment beaucoup.
Ouais.
C'est une bénédiction parce que je suis avec le chef.
Ouais.
Ou il est musicien. Un musicien, c'est qui?
Un artiste d'abord, tu as parlé, c'est quelqu'un qui compose, qui a des idées de formuler des chansons et qui peut les interpréter lui-même sur scène. On peut l'appeler l'artiste. Le musicien, c'est l'exécuteur qui peut jouer un instrument. Il n'est pas spécialement artiste, mais il peut jouer un instrument de musique. Voilà, il y a déjà cette différence. Maintenant, moi, je suis artiste et musicien maintenant. Donc, most of des artistes sont peintres, artistes peintres, ou artistes peut-être chanteurs, ils chantent seulement. Bon, on peut l'appeler artiste. Ben, il y a des artistes, des musiciens comme nous, c'est l'école anglo-saxonne. On a été élevé à jouer en même temps, à chanter, composer. Because pour composer une chanson, c'est une autre discipline, of course. La plupart du temps, tu ne peux pas être tout. Tu ne peux pas être compositeur, musicien. C'est les gens rares comme moi. Bon, moi, je suis compositeur, je suis auteur-compositeur, bien sûr. Parce que j'ai appris ça dans le tas, j'ai appris ça à l'école aussi. J'étais déjà dans l'école Life de Claude François, qui était une école plus rude encore qu'une vraie école de musique que j'ai fait à Paris, IACP. Donc là, tu apprends déjà à accompagner un artiste, puisque Claude François, c'était le chanteur, et moi, j'étais bassiste. Donc quand il chante, « Un jour, mon père me dit, fiston, je te vois sortir le soir », il faut entendre comment il commence progressivement, et toi aussi, tu dois savoir comment amener cette musique progressivement jusqu'à arriver. Ça commence tout doucement et ça arrive fort, n'est-ce pas? Bon, c'est ça. Donc, il y a une différence entre un musicien et un artiste.
Ok. Donc, pour être un bon musicien, est-ce qu'il is it a necessity or is it an obligation to school on appelle ça des fameux conservatoires en France?
Le conservatoire, c'est une école normale, quoi, de musique, un conservatoire, ou dans une école quelconque. Je l'ai fait comme beaucoup de musiciens l'ont fait. Mais oui, ça peut être important pour t'apprendre beaucoup de choses. Non seulement la lecture de la musique ou l'écriture, mais ça va t'apprendre ce que je venais de dire, comment avoir des nuances, comment faire de la musique, quoi, en général. Quoi. Puisque la musique, même le silence, fait partie de la musique. Donc, comment faire des mixages. On n'apprend pas qu'à jouer ou à lire la musique ou à écrire la musique. On apprend beaucoup d'autres. Le feeling, comment être aussi avec d'autres musiciens. Bon, c'est vrai que moi, j'ai l'habitude de... J'étais dans l'école des groupes à l'américain, en Angleterre. Donc je pense à Beatles, de Mick Jagger, de Paul McCartney, je pense à Rolling Stone. À l'époque, il y avait des groupes de musiciens pour former une équipe et donner une certaine force. Comme on dit, l'union fait la force. Quand on devient seul, on a du mal. Alors on passe d'un groupe à un autre et très souvent, ce n'est pas évident d'arriver à trouver un groupe que tu n'as jamais travaillé avec et pouvoir sortir quelque chose de consistant avec un peu de... Donc moi, par exemple, nous les bassistes, on a peut-être un peu de chance parce que la basse est la fondation, le fondamental de la musique. Donc si je joue la basse dans n'importe quel groupe, il est déjà assuré, assuré parce que le bassiste, c'est quelqu'un qui saura, c'est un arrangeur déjà à part entière parce que la basse, c'est un instrument qui englobe tout le reste. Donc, qui ne doit pas être trop comme... Il doit englober tous les autres instruments et les supporter, en fait. C'est comme la fondation même de la musique.
Okay.
Voilà.
Parce que à ce niveau, vous entendez parler, parfois les gens à la maison, parfois moi aussi, moi je réfléchis aussi comme eux, on prend la guitare, you just take the guitar and you start to play, oui, lui il joue à la guitare et elle joue à la guitare. How can you make a difference between, moi je joue à la basse et les autres...
à la guitare.
Voilà, la guitare, what's the difference?
The difference, the guitar is higher, of course, higher notes that you can hear. And it's like in a house. You cannot build a house on top of water unless you put many things.
Yeah, the foundation.
The foundation there. So it's the same thing. The guitar is there to give some harmony, some light chords, so you'll be able to sing on top. You can also sing, you see, because here you play single note in the guitar, you have to go with chords, you know. On the bass, it's difficult to play like this because most time it's single note. You have to play single note.
And you need a special guitar for the bass?
To do the basic chords, to play the chords. The 6-string guitar. This one is 4. I guess you can see 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
You know, the guitar have 6 strings and the very, very light strings, of course. That's
Vous avez une idée pourquoi les gens vous appellent Mr. Walking Bass?
Yeah, I'll show you because walking bass. That's walking bass. Because when I play bass, it's Sombe mabangalanga bibebe tondele mamoma was enyakisane mo. Sombe mabangalanga betondele mamoma was eseli bumbe. Idiba sondi pesi malamiti tom tomo. Eputa tenge mandabo asima na longe la mulambamba na pete mabuma sunu. That's we call walking bass. The bass is going boom, boom, like jazz, okay. But it's makosa, you know. That's what we call it. It's walking. Bar blues. So that's what we call a walking bass. You can go on 12-bar blues or some kind of turn around, something like turn around, turn around. It's not 12. You know, turn around. You can make song out of it.
Okay, you can make a song out of this one.
Of course, you go to the bridge.
Yeah, great.
The bridge. Go. Bridge.
When I arrived in London in the late 70s, this gentleman was playing with a band called Osibisa in London. And I was the very first ambassador to ask to this group to stage on our National Day, the 20th of May in 1977, in a big hotel in London called the Dorchester. As I said earlier, it was the first time that the English people came to watch a big show staged in a big hotel with an orchestra with Africans from Nigeria, Ghana, and Cameroon. And Jean Dikoto Mandenge was the best player of the group. Yeah, very famous group.
He was the bassist.
Yes, the bassist. Yeah. I am the one who put the name of Mandenge on his passport, and then he became famous by that name, Mandenge. Dikoto Mandenge, the both names. Yeah, Jean Dikoto Mandenge. So he told you that I manufactured the passport for him in the embassy in London, 84 Holland Park in London. And since then, he became my friend. He used to visit me almost every day to my place, my residence in Finchley, in London suburb. Yeah.
Today, I want to say we are so blessed on the show because across the table, Mr. Mandenge is just across the table, but it's a surprise. You are not going to see him now because in the course of the show, you're going to see him. When you look at him today, just look at him. What do you see? He has come a very long way. What do you see?
Great.
When you look at Mr. Mandenge today, you know, as far as music is concerned, before he was that young man, today he's a man, he's a father. He has achieved so much for Cameroon. Those are my qualifications. What do you see when you look at him?
To be candid, I was very impressed when I saw him on the Equinox TV last Friday. It's how it all started because I'm one of the watcher of Equinox Television, and I was impressed to see him in that show. I was very impressed. I say, you don't know how much you are blessed to be with the biggest bassist of Cameroon. And he's known as a bassist who has trained many players of bass in Cameroon. And in my book, I have a long list of all that Mr. Jean Dikoto Mandenge has trained as bassist. There are many.
Osibisa, we get something like.
Your manager told me that you were thinking about coming together.
You know, we play some kind of special music. We call it. We started the world music. You know, we call it Afro rock music. Things like with 6/8 beat, all kind of rhythm. We mixed with every kind of music, including African sounds, like birds, like the way the African sound. When you go to the bush, maybe you hear the lion roar, the lion roar,
Yeah.
this kind of sound. And of course, they make movies out of it.
Wow.
Yeah, of course, and that's why we sang with Warner Brother, because they have to use our music to make soundtracks.
Okay, soundtracks for movies.
For movies, we make soundtracks.
Well, what has become of the other members, the band members of Osibisa?
Well, most of the members based in London, are based in London. Everybody, because we all live in London. But then later on, by moving there and by getting older, every one of us was doing business there, and we get split. We get to split to do some other things, of course.
Representing Africa is something that is a fact. We hear names like Richard Bona. We hear names like Harry D. Conge, you know, Fela Kuti. We hear the wonderful Mr. Walking Bass, your name, you know, Jean Dikoto Mandenge. You know, these are people, I want to say that you people specialize in a different genre of music. It's called world music. You all know how to manipulate one instrument or another. Manu Dibango, you know, he plays the sax and he plays the piano, you play the guitar, the bass, you know. And shall I say today, considering the fact that in Cameroon, we hear of Makossa, the typical traditional Makossa and the Bikusi. Some people will say it remains, you know, a national level or African level. So to excel, you know, to get more audience for yourself and market. Some people say people like you have specialized in world music because it's international. Is it a strategy?
It's not a strategy, it's just naturally. It's naturally. We started playing world music before they call it world music. We call it Afro rock. That's what I was about to say before. We call it Afro rock music. Wherever I don't have all the write-up I have in the world here to show you that Osibisa means crisscross rhythm that explode with happiness, means we just mix up all kind of rhythm from all kind of countries, including the rock and roll of England, including the jazz of America, the blues. That's how we were making our song around all kind of music, you know. So we didn't choose to change or trying to give ourselves a certain image of or sound. Everything just came naturally, just spontaneously, naturally. We didn't say, let's play like this or let's do it this way. Because when we get together, everyone just play. Your best player, you just been playing something, and the drummer is playing something around that, and that's how we get our music on. That's it. And we try to make it as big as possible. But we were influenced with all the music around us anyway, because c'est normal que vous êtes influencé par ce que vous écoutez. Si vous habitez ici à Douala, au Cameroun, mettons, et que vous écoutez le Bikusi tous les jours, il est évident que vous allez jouer le Bikusi. Quand vous êtes musicien, vous allez jouer comme ce que vous entendez. Donc l'environnement est très important avec le musicien.
Muzik is only made with high-quality ingredients to ensure a distinctive, refreshing taste and a seriously good time. Muzik, joie de vivre of Cameroon.